please welcome to the stage the very gorgeous in green, Desiree! Look at her. Shimmering.
I just had a really vivid flashback of walking onto stage at my Year 5 assembly about to sing It Wasn't Me by Shaggy and falling over. It was just like, I fell straight onto my head, and then I got up and I was like, it wasn't me. Sorry. Every January or December, depending on where we are, my partner and I, we sit down and we do this thing called a year compass. Now, the year compass, it's like a free online printout, but we write about what's happened throughout the year and all of our goals and aspirations for the year ahead. So this year, December to January, I found myself with a new mantra. So my 2024 mantra is, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. What does that mean? I suppose it's like a less holistic and confrontational way of saying, say it with your chest. I can't tell you the amount of times I've tried to talk around the thing that I'm trying to say. Or instead of just saying no, I ignore it or make up some elaborate story that now 3 people, the government of New Zealand and my granddad's cat, have to corroborate with me. Or how many no worries if you can't I've dropped at the end of a text message or an email when I, in fact, am full of worries. There are so many worries. But I read somewhere, or I saw it on TikTok, or somebody else saw it on TikTok and told me that they read it, the phrase, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. And immediately I felt a little bit of guilt about that phrase. I think about every time I've tried to save myself from being just a little bit uncomfortable, when in fact it's unkinder to just not be honest and direct. No, sorry, I do not have the capacity for that at the moment, or what you said just hurt me, or I don't think that outfit best encapsulates you as a person. For a moment, I'm going to take us to a universe where you can be direct. I would say almost too direct, criminally so, but just stay with me. So, my response when she tells me she only dates women of color, I do not get mad. Instead, I torch all the clothes in her wardrobe, apart from the black ones, and slightly unscrew all of the light bulbs. When he tells me that he sees no future for us, I learn how to time travel. I travel back to a hot day in August in the late 80s and hand his father a condom. The day that he told me I would never meet his mother, I purposely bump into her. I bump into her every day. I bump into her every day for a year until my name falls out of her mouth at his dinner table. Once, we were stood in a room, this is a true story, and she tells me that my poetry is uninteresting and it doesn't contain enough metaphors. So I quite literally put my fingers down my throat, grab the pain from behind my eyes and hold it in my hand, and I wait. Wait until she says something, and then I shove it in her mouth and watch her choke on my hurt. At 10 years old, my first boyfriend told us we should keep our relationship a secret. So I cut out his tongue. I have a lot of blood on my hands in this universe, but there are no tears. There are no 3 a.m. texts of all the things I should have said. In this universe, I wear my heart like a clutch bag, close, but still dangling. I suppose unfazed is the wrong word. But in this universe, I am not unhappy. I do not have to be understanding. I just get to be. There are no angry black women in this universe or queer women with chips on their shoulders. There are only chips, which everyone eats. Because in this universe, your waist does not dictate how much love you deserve. We dwell on nothing. There are no excuses. It either is or it isn't. It existed or it didn't. There is no wondering here. And we give ourselves enough love to remain unfazed. Well, not unfazed, but at the very least, happy. Thank you. So, that was silly and illegal, but you get the point. But being honest, but being clear and honest is tough.
I'm sorry. Desiree, your voice, bullshit cackles. You deserve clear clarity. Take that.
Oh no. Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, I didn't know that. I can't hear me. Okay, we can do this. Sorry, so being honest, being clear and honest is tough. No matter how many times I go over their lines in my head, nobody ever sticks to the script. The hardest part about being clear is that it leaves us open to judgment and criticism, right? But wasn't that gonna happen anyway? Most times, all of the time, I have to psych myself up for it. And I always make sure that I know what I want out of the conversation and make a SparkNote version of what my point is. Don't get me wrong, you might not always get what you want, but we have to ask for what we need, because that is direct. That is kind. The other person is aware of your expectations and can make an informed decision about whether they want to or they can meet your expectations. When you are unclear with people, people have to guess, and most people are not good guessers. It is like setting someone up to disappoint you. So sometimes, even when being clear feels like it could be unkind, it is, in truth, hard truths, not harsh. I'm going to repeat that. Hard truths, not harsh truths. I don't believe in harsh truths. That vulnerability can be nurtured. We can say the hard thing in a way that is clear and in a way that is kind. Like once, I was having a conversation with a male friend of mine, and I said, I've only really ever had conversations with your ego. Occasionally, you let me talk to your self-esteem, but keep him locked up on account of just how fragile he could be. You are part man, part every word that has ever broken you. Part hostile, housing dreams that flew but couldn't afford to. You are your father's absence. You hold the heat from the anger of every time you were told big boys don't cry, and now you're infertile, dry, because nothing ever grows without water to give it life. You speak to be heard, not to listen. You are a walking contradiction, claim to be woke but slept on your own vision, no spirit. Yet you worship these true religions. What you fail to realize is your truth is missing, but I suppose if you think all your strength lies in your fists, you'll do anything to cut them off. When a rope holds more weight than your words do, or a bullet is the closest to feeling whole you have come across, I am sorry for failing to realize that this world is trying to break you too. See, they put you on a pedestal, then kicked it from under you. When 76% of all suicides are men, what does man up really mean? When kill or be killed has become so deep-rooted in your identity that you will turn on yourself. When fight and flight take place at the same time, it seems almost impossible to ask for help, and you man up. But here's where perception is vital, because manning up often looks like man down, so no one knows that man is suicidal. So I will ask you and your ego at every given opportunity if you are okay. Because who knows how many lives those 3 words can save. Thank you. So this mantra isn't just for the people around me, it is also for myself. How can I be clear and kind to me? How can you be clear and kind to yourself? And again, I am not saying it is easy. This year, I had to explain to my mum why her siblings will not be attending my wedding. I had to explain to my closest friend how her substance abuse is ruining our relationship. I had to explain to myself why it's easier to have these conversations, these clear and direct conversations, then pick myself up and put myself through the other option, because the other option is not easier. Putting up with it is not easier. Shutting up is not easier. As a woman, it is easy to get caught up in the politics of politeness. Because of how we are socialized, the idea of being ladylike is tied to avoiding conflict and minding our manners. Oh, fuck that. The ladies I want to be like are Angela Davis or Baroness Doreen Lawrence or Naomi fucking Campbell. I want to wear big, clunky fucking shoes, and I want to incite change in the people around me. I want to be the kind of bitch you would call direct if I was a man, or emotionally led when he gets to be passionate, because I am too much woman to be held comfortably. I do not sit still enough. All parts spill over edges. I find comfort in chaos. I make chasms out of boys with big egos, cause earthquakes under skin, tsunamis under clothes, those most beautiful types of disasters. I am not half of anything. I am full, too big to stomach. Too much of one to be another, so I am begging you, please, do not love me without loving yourself first. I cannot make myself smaller for you. See, you might be alpha, but I am omega, the end. Nothing comes after me. I will not be your beta. I will not sit beside you in silence. I will finish you. I come from a line of women who had minds as sharp as their tongues, held babies with the same hands they used to spill blood. So this is child's play. Do you ever wonder what this mouth can do? I have changed worlds with these lips. I will pull apart your patriarchy. Women like me have sank ships. The fragility of your masculinity is all dependent on what I do next. How does that make you feel, babe? I mean, look at me, all strong and womanly, not needing to be saved. So, if the only thing you have to offer is consistent dick and a headache, then no thank you. Let's entertain this idea that I might be better off without you, because without you, I owe no one anything. What you eat at this table is exactly what you bring. So yes, I can cook and I like to eat good, but you will never find me barefoot and in the kitchen. So if the only reason you want me on my knees is because I stand too tall on my feet, please note, the only love I've ever needed was my own. So the only person I have to please here is me. Thank you so much. My name's Desiree. Buy my book. Thank you.
Give it up for Desiree, everybody. Oh, my goodness.